to do that in the first place. And when you look back, it's never because we saw the numbers. We shot our numbers and it just makes so much logical sense. This is something we have to do. No, it's not like that. So we didn't see the numbers and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Let me go ahead and make my life completely different because I saw something in a textbook, because I saw something in a documentary that spouted these statistics on how great a vegan lifestyle is. Okay? We didn't get moved by that. We have to remember we got moved by something. Hey, it's Jackie, the vegan marketer from The Influential Vegan, and today I'm sharing an extremely important message that for all my vegan friends out there, so that's probably you right now watching this, needs to hear, needs to be reminded about. Okay, so I know that feeling, you know that feeling, and as I talk more about it right now, you're gonna feel it in your heart exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so a few years ago when I first went vegan, I remember being so passionate and seeing the numbers, seeing the stats, and everything just made sense to me. And I was like, yes, this makes so much sense to me. Okay, so of course I shared it with my family, with my friends, not everyone, not just yet. I shared it with the people that I first thought were like, okay, they think like me, they care like me, they are obviously going to instantly become vegan as soon as I show them these facts and logic, right? But of course, as you may have imagined, that's not exactly how it went, at least not at first. Okay, so what happened then was that I became that preachy vegan at first, right? I was just preaching out these stats, these regurgitated information that every vegan somehow knows, right? From the same 4 sources of information, right? But that's not my point that I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say though, and they probably are reputable sources, right? But what I'm trying to say is that there's a reason why that doesn't work right away. That's a reason why that's not as effective as we would like to do. And we get so hurt, we get so offended when people so close to us fail to see the same way that we do, are failing to see how these logics, it's like, bro, how are you so stupid? How are you so stupid to not see this and make the logical decision on, becoming a vegan? And over the past few years, I learned exactly why that is, okay? And I want to share that with you. And you probably know this from your own experience, but I want to remind you why it's like that, okay? So for many people, I'd actually say everyone, we don't make logical decisions, okay? We never make logical decisions, at least not initially. Every decision that humans make are based first off of emotion. And then later on, it is rationalized by logic, so that's where it's important to have the reputable information. But the thing is, people buy stuff emotionally first. It's not a matter of showing them facts and logic because you're giving them a justification for something that they're not moved yet to do. Okay, so that's why we get so frustrated when we show them these numbers, when we show them the stats of cardiovascular disease, when we show them the stats of the environmental degradation, and we show them the terrors of, the animal agriculture and all that crazy shit, right? Well, actually, the last one might actually be kind of effective, at least moving them emotionally, right? But we have to remember and think back to why did we become vegan? Why did we make that choice? And I'm saying this particularly for vegans because I know unless you were raised vegan or unless you live in a culture that I am very unaware of that supports veganism and is all about that, there's a lot of social pressures, right? I mean, being a vegan myself, I obviously am able to do it, right? And it's not necessarily the eating that is troublesome, but it's the convenience, it's the social factors, it's all the other stuff, right, that people care about. Why do we put ourselves through this, right? Why put ourselves through this as it's so terrible, right? Because obviously we stay vegan, you are still vegan because there are some benefits, there is something worth it to you, right? And it being worth it to you outweighs the detriments, right? But the thing is, we have to look back to where our initial decision, how we got moved to do that in the first place. And when you look back, it's never because we saw the numbers. we shot on our numbers and it just made so much logical sense. This is something we have to do. No, it's not like that. So we didn't see the numbers and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Let me go ahead and make my life completely different because I saw something in a textbook, because I saw something in a documentary that spouted these statistics on how great a vegan lifestyle is. Okay, we didn't get moved by that. We have to remember we got moved by some emotional aspect. We got moved by some emotional pain points. Okay, and you have to empathize with other people that, if they understand the stats, they understand the facts, they understand the logic, and they're still not vegan, there's a reason. It's because they're not emotionally sold yet. And you have to empathize with them because they're in this confliction, okay? So for you, as a friend, as a vegan, as an activist, whatever else, what you have to do is you have to effectively and calibratedly convey to them the emotional importance, to convince them to make the decision to spend their emotional dollars on looking more into it, right? And what I mean by this then is we have to, because of course, okay, so I'm saying this with the context of like very uncalibrated activists sometimes do some really outlandish things, and of course, that does have its place as far as bringing attention, but as far as actually helping people make that change, it's I don't think is as effective as we would like it to be, right? But I think there's a much more calibrated way to do it, and it's a much more personal way that you can do this, right? And it is to help them realize that emotionally, make that emotional connection. So how do you do that? You do that through stories. You do that through understanding them and really empathizing with them from where they are at. Because love is love. Okay, I don't want to get into there, but yeah, it's basically you have to get them, you have to understand them, you have to know where they're at before asking them to do whatever else. Because if you don't know what's troubling them, you don't know what is bothering them, why would they care? Why would they give a shit about what you have to say? But if you're actually able to show that you understand, that you care about them, that you empathize with them, that you know what they are going through, that you know that they're struggling with X, Y, Z, that you actually might have their best interest at heart. Yes. So what I'm trying to say, if I hadn't made my point clear enough, is that you have to first move them emotionally and justify them logically, okay? So all the little posts on the stats and the it's really great for reinforcing someone and to justify veganism, like once someone is already vegan. But as far as our biggest influence in helping people who aren't vegan yet become and adopting more of a plant-based lifestyle, it really is about understanding them and moving them emotionally and effectively communicating to them that you know where they're at, that you know that you can, empathize with them, and that you're not just trying to push the agenda of big broccoli, right? Excuse me. So, what is my point here to you? If you haven't already got it, because I probably reiterated it like 3 or 4 times, but that's okay. We have to do that. We have to create that emotional connection. Okay, share your stories, share that pain point. Okay, share your own pain points, because that is a lot of times. You'll be surprised how many people have the same pain points as you, or the same pain points that you had. And don't forget, do not get frustrated when they don't listen to those stats, when they don't listen to the logic, when they don't listen to all the peer-reviewed articles that are constantly coming out, because they don't care about that yet. Okay, we might care about that, right, as far as justifying our current identity and reinforcing our decision. But for someone new, they don't care about the peer-reviewed information, okay? So just because you say there's 100 peer-reviewed articles that show how great veganism is, you have to understand they don't care about that yet. They don't make logical decisions yet. So, have some patience. Be a little more empathetic to your friends, to your, people, your family, whoever you're talking to, whoever you're trying to convey this message to, because I think it's obviously important to you. If you're watching this, you obviously think it's important. If you're still vegan for any reason, you know that it's important for whatever reason to you. And we want to share it, right? But there are ways to share it that are more calibrated than others, and what I'm sharing with you now is more of that calibrated way of being patient, of empathizing, of seeing where they are at, because that's how you are actually really able to get someone to make a decision, right? To not just touch their heads, not just reach their heads, but to touch their hearts, okay? You cannot just touch, okay, let me rephrase that one more time to say it real good, okay? So you cannot just reach their minds, you have to touch their hearts, okay? So when you understand this, when you do this, you're going to be able to have a much more effective response, okay? So along those lines, I did make a free guide on 10 hacks on how to become more influential, to be able to leverage, in addition to making those emotional connections, when you're having those conversations, when you're talking to an audience, when you're doing whatever else, to be able to apply these 10 hacks that I made very actionable, made very easy to do, to understand, to follow, to execute. So I wanted to create that so that you can do that, so that you can promote our message more effectively, so that you can be passionate and share your passion unapologetically without being the preachy vegan, okay? Because I know what that's like, you know what that's like, and it is not a good look. Especially not a good look on me, it's probably not a good look on you, okay? So go ahead, go to the description, click on that link, and get the free guide. That's there. So again, I'm not gonna reiterate my point, because if you watch this long, you probably understand my point very deeply now, okay? And if you haven't, then just rewatch the video. But no, seriously though, I have a lot of empathy for non-vegans, because I was a non-vegan for a long time, and we have to look back in our own journeys and realize it wasn't instantaneous. It wasn't instantaneous as soon as we heard the facts and logic, okay? It wasn't like that. It was a process. And that's why personal relationships are so important, is because when you have that relationship with someone, you're much more able, when you have a personal relationship with someone, you actually care about them, you actually have a connection, and you empathize with them because they are your friend, because they are your family, because they are your lover, whatever else, right? And when you actually have that rapport built, when you have that connection built, you're able to extend your empathy in a way that you fail to do, or that a lot of people fail to do, to strangers, okay? And it doesn't make sense for us to do it any differently. Yeah, is that making sense? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because this video is getting really long, my goodness. Okay, so with that, I hope this message was very valuable. Share this with someone, share this with share this with another vegan that could hear this, that could really benefit from hearing this. And thank you for watching this far, for staying with me to the bitter end. Okay, so I appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and have a beautiful day, okay? Catch you later.